because it deals with gaining the objectives short of nuclear war. And it presents to the West, by the various themes that it promulgates, what I call a wilderness of mirrors. But you don't have to be a great or large or wealthy country to have a good intelligence service. As long as you have the norms, as long as you have the disciplines, as long as you have the motivation, the singleness of purpose, you can be a small service, have one great penetration, and you can move the world.
Why do we need intelligence at all?
For survival. Fundamentally for survival.
Have you any regrets?
So with Pablo,
I feel like with Pablo, like, man, we only see these fucking documentaries, and then we see Narcos and we see The Sopranos. We see all these Russian mob movies. It's like, dude, it's much like the government. You're never gonna know the real fucking, like, the stories that you hear are probably fucking interesting, as like when he burned $2 million to keep his daughter warm.
It's a TV show. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
But, like, the fact, like, if people claim that he buried his money, I think that's one of those things where those guys are just smart enough to be like, yeah, tell everybody I fucking buried my money. You know, let's have about, 10,000 Colombians just digging around.
Yeah.
Hoping they run into some fucking money.
It is a good myth, too, like, because, like, I guess how people supposedly found this out was, like, they buried it somewhat close to a riverbed or something, and there was a flood, and then all of a sudden there was just all this money.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, great story.
Right.
But why would you bury your money next to a riverbed? Secondly, let's just dump a fucking pallet of money into the river and say that happened.
Exactly. And he has the funds to do that, dude.
Yeah, he's like, one pallet, dude. He doesn't even call it like the 20 million or whatever. He's like, one pallet.
One
whatever.
pallet. Dude, fuck that, dude. It's 800 pounds of money. Whatever, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good point going into this. Again, we just got to stress, a lot of this has been confirmed. Some of it is speculation. Some of it just could be legend, dude. I don't know, But it's pretty much,
And again,
we're just nudging you. Look at this.
Yeah. Again, it's also to just, keep everybody safe from communism. That's the bottom line.
I mean, the commies are the real issue.
That's the real issue, man.
Right?
This
isn't about,
nothing changed, dude.
This isn't about human beings and just being in control and controlling a multi-billion-dollar empire of heroin, fucking influence, fucking political power over multiple, just a fucking corporation.
Keep it down, dude. Keep it down.
New neighbors, dude?
No, dude.
Got mics up?
The fact that everything that happened after the initial, we're doing this is what we talked about at the first part was just, the seedlings of Operation Gladio. And then, this is all still part of the same program. We promise you. We really, really promise you. You guys shouldn't fucking just, go around rooting around for answers, all right?
Stop rooting around for answers.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so when we last left you, basically the newly formed CIA made an alliance with the American Mafia, the Italian Mafia, most specifically in Sicily.
The American Mafia being the Kardashians.
Yeah, the Kardashians. Did I say Italian? I meant Armenian.
Armenian, yeah, you said Armenian.
And then the Vatican to form stay-behind units all over various countries in Europe to stop the spread of communism. Because you got to remember, these are democratic countries, and they're free to vote for whoever they want to.
Hey, communism was hot, baby. It was hot.
It was
the
hot.
roaring communism.
You got to
baby.
remember, it was hot after World War II, dude. The single was dropping.
The single was dropping, dude. Red was a hot color. You know, it was the new color. Red did not exist at this point. Okay, except for the Nazis.
Except for not the Nazis, dude. Speaking of the Nazis, the people that got to kind of aid them in this push to stop the spread of communism was a lot of former Nazis, a lot of former super right-wing dudes like these crazy fucks from Croatia who were super Catholic, good Catholic boys, who even the Nazis were like, not quite our cup of tea, but glad you support the cause. You know, fascists in Italy, fascists in fucking France, fucking in Spain, basically anywhere they could, whoever they could recruit, whoever was fucking eligible to be drafted onto the team, they did.
As is tradition with these global as is tradition with these global power moves, basically.
And basically what they set up is, you know, as I said, these stay-behind units. How they aided them was mainly through organization and money. And the money they used was, you know, you can always skim off of budgets. You can always request Congress for funds, but, you know, that requires a lot of explaining, a lot of skullduggery, dude. I think the best way to do that is just, why don't we just sell a bunch of heroin and
it's right.
not tell anybody about it and take 15% off the top and throw it right into a couple of banks that are associated with the Vatican. And they'll put it into some numbered Swiss accounts, fucking spin it around 40 times, throw it into some shell companies, and all of a sudden it's in Italy in some mafia guy's hands, and he's paying you to bash your neighbor's head in, who just happens to be a communist.
That's how it works, baby.
That's
how it works.
Essentially what it is, man. It's the organization. So today, and the last thing where we left off, they just had their first big success with Gladio. They prevented the communists from winning in the 1948 Italian election. The Christian Democrats won. They got Sicilian mafia through Indrangheta. I don't know how you pronounce that. The Camorra in Naples. They got all those the Banda Magdalena in Rome. They got all these dudes and just said bash heads in, pay who you have to pay off, assassinate whoever you. The Christian Democrats have to win, and they won.
Yeah.
But there's still this lingering, you know, I guess belief in communism because it is, as we said before, it's a free country. It's a democratic country, of course. After all, dude, you can believe in whatever you want to believe.
Dude, things back then were so much fucking more baller in the political world. Just like go bash this, like go actually bash this guy's brains in. He's gonna go vote commie. And today it's like, put a bumper sticker on your car, dude. Like, what the fuck? Fucking these guys are your hashtags that people put out. Like back then, it was fucking do or die, dog.
Yeah.
I'll kill him, but we gotta win. I'll go kill him, but we got like, and also there was just like uncertainty. Like, what if we didn't kill enough guys?
Shit, dude. What if we didn't?
What if we didn't kill enough guys?
If we would have killed, yeah, like, what if they lost and it would have been like, we lost by 6 votes, and they're like, fuck, should have killed 6 more guys, dude. Like,
oh my god.
No, hey, real quick, speaking of bumper stickers, dude, the only bumper stickers I still notice on cars for political campaigns are Bernie Sanders.
You still see those, huh?
Because people leave them on.
Well,
Those are the only ones I still see on cars.
To be fair, those tend to be the laziest people. I fucking would still see the fucking Biden and Harris. That's probably the ones I see most often.
They still make them, though.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't notice them. Yeah, it's fucking...
But those Bernie ones, man, like every time you saw a Bernie one, stereotypes, fucking glasses, beanie, beard, and, driving to not a job. So,
yeah, well, and if they are going to a job, it's either fucking...
Or what do they call it? A co-op?
Co-op.
Or on his way to a co-op.
Co-op grocery store, dude.
Yeah.
Those places fucking suck, dude.
How does that system
give me a
work?
Goddamn Kroger any day, or a Publix, or any of the OG like top-notch grocery.
Dude, how does a co-op to me? And this is my ignorance.
Okay. Yeah,
is the most communist shit I've ever heard of in my life, and I don't know if that's accurate. Like,
go on.
It's if I understand this correctly, you put in some time as work, air quotes. And then you can take some of the food there. Is that how that works?
I think that's one of the benefits.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if you work there for a specific amount of time, you get ownership of the actual co-op. Because they're not like, it's one fucking store.
Yeah.
So, like, the people who work there, they're going to work there for a while. And, like, they're usually not...
They're on a 4-year plan.
It's not like they have a fucking meat department. I mean, they do, but it's like fucking, as big as your fucking coffee table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the butcher fucking longboarded his way to work is what you're telling me.
And they're not even doing that. They're getting meat, they're getting meat from a local butcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not... And it could be different. Like, the co-ops I've been to have not been good grocery stores at all.
Yeah.
It's usually just all... It's all about your ideals and like what you want to.
Yeah,
it's not about.
There's no business structure.
It's not about what you want. I'm talking about the shoppers too. Like, it's not about what you actually want. Like, I want to make good fucking tacos tonight, dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to the fucking co-op to do that, dude. Now, the other thing would be like a grocery store I won't name, which is fucking like, these stores are massive. They're like 40 times the size of your average co-op.
Yeah.
Their meat department is 20 times as big as their fucking...
Yeah.
And they are employee owned, but like, it's literally like, yeah, I mean, if you work here for 5 years, we'll give you like points on your store.
Right.
We'll give you, if your store does well, we'll give you part of the profits. Like, that's how they do it.
Yeah. I'm just almost...
An actual corporate, like,
yes, I was
money-making structure.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure co-op is like, I think we know how to run this. I remember I took an economics class in high school. Yeah. And I think this is how this works.
Yeah.
And then they just do it, and then it falls apart.
Yeah.
But, mainly just because there's like one person who's like, this is so fucking stupid. I guess I'll fucking do all of this, And it's one person who just kind of like works as an actual manager. Because I don't think there's a co-op. Is there a co-op manager? Is there?
Yeah, it's like the actual. There's a store manager and everything. And,
yeah.
Like you said, that guy's probably competent. He has to be, because the store's gonna fall apart without him, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's essentially what Italy wanted to do. They wanted a bunch of co-ops back in 1948.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, all right. So just before we get into what we're going to be talking about is, I'll talk about what we're going to talk about, what we're going to skip over. So I guess what we're skipping over, most of the action, most of the Gladio action, stay behind action in all of the other European countries. We're really just going to stick with Italy. We might touch on some shit that goes in other countries, but not really. There is interesting shit like Turkey. Counter Guerrilla, that was what theirs was called, their group. Fucking nuts, dude. Like, that could be its own fucking episode, man.
I feel like Turkey's just always never not fucked. Like, they were not fucking around.
Turkey is always just...
They're in it all the
steam
time.
ahead, dude.
Yeah.
Ever since the Ottoman Empire fell, they were like, we fucking got to get things going again, dude.
Yeah.
But and just to hit on Turkey real quick, I won't say much more past this. They eventually become like the Middle East, Turkey, Lebanon. The supply of heroin shifts from Italian pharmaceutical companies in the Far East to the Middle East.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they get juiced up. Yeah. But anyways, all right, skipping over that. Spain, there's a lot of shit going on there. France, Belgium, Greece. I'm probably forgetting some. And then Latin America is its own fucking thing. That's kind of like a branch off of this. And Gladio money does go there.
Oh, it does.
And it eventually leads to the collapse of one of the biggest banks in Italy because they start funneling money down there. So we'll touch on that, but we're not going to really get into that. Yeah. So again, we're going to focus on Italy. What we're going to talk about is the infamous P2 Mason Lodge, Licio Gelli, the head of the infamous P2 Mason Lodge.
Yeah.
The years of lead.
Yeah.
The collapse of Banco Ambrosiano, which I just mentioned. And so, yeah, that's going to pretty much wrap up the Italian Gladio story. But, yeah, one last recap. So what Gladio is, you need the organizational manpower. How that really gets structured and formed in Italy is this P2 Mason Lodge. And we'll talk about that more in a bit. Money. So the money comes from heroin. The people who are kind of doing the legwork, breaking heads, paying people off, the mafia people, they're getting rich on heroin. It's the Corsicans, which is just a little island north of Italy, northwest part of France. They're working in tandem and kind of on their own. They're also fucking up communists in France and the Marseille docks, dude. But yeah, the Corsican Mafia and the Italian Mafia, they become the biggest heroin drug traffickers in the world because of Operation Gladio. So that's kind of where the money comes from. The last part of it...
They're killing it with the heroin.
They're fucking killing it.
Killing it. Heroin is killing it.
The last part of it is the laundry. How do we conceal and distribute the money throughout the world? Well, we got a little thing called the Vatican Bank, baby. Woo! As we mentioned last episode, not really able to scrutinize it by pretty much anybody.
No, it's legitimate. It's pure.
Its own country, baby.
Pure, baby.
Vatican City, dude.
È puro.
They're burning.
È puro. Okay.
They're burning records, dude. They're fucking throwing it up, spinning it in Swiss accounts, bringing it back, throwing it to fucking shell companies. I already said this 10 times. Let's move on. All right, so we're going to talk about this guy, Licio Gelli. So he is the head of the P2 Mason Lodge.
Okay.
All right, and we'll get to what P2 Mason Lodge is in a bit. Let's just give some background on this guy.
Okay.
So how he gets tied into all this is we talked last episode about the rat lines.
Yeah, right.
So that was getting Nazis out of Germany at the end of the war, sending them to South America, sending them to Italy, sending them to the United States. The Vatican helped out with this.
Just making use of Nazis, dude.
So
every which way you can, dude.
They were like, we can find a way.
Oh my god!
So all the way from some of these dudes who just showed up in Huntsville talking about fucking cookouts, dude, to fucking pure sociopaths, to just dudes like, yeah, I'll fuck up some communists. Like,
I just love killing.
hiya, Morty.
Yeah. Do you need family members, children, kids, any? I forget.
Yeah,
I just love killing.
Here you go. And he goes, you're giving him a card?
Oh my god, dude! I mean, the fact that not just the United States, but just everybody. I'm not siding with Kanye on anything here. I'm just saying, is like,
no, sorry,
like people just being like, I think his whole point is just like, maybe some served a purpose, had some value in something, and you're like, oh, they did, and they were used for all of those purposes.
Yeah, dude, the CIA was like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
they were like, Kanye's right, dude. from the grave, dude. Alan Dulles and James Jesus Angleton are just like, dude, Kanye's right as shit, dude. Some of those Nazis were tight.
Dude, fuck. Oh my god. Yeah, so Licio. Right?
Oh yeah. So that's how he gets. So he aids in the rat line. He's just kind of this sketchy Italian dude. He's mixed up in the underworld a little bit.
Yeah, he's dark arts.
He knows some of these cardinals. Like, he's like, I know how to do this. So he is kind of the main dude. He's got connections in South America for some reason. That's not really explained in the book, dude.
Man, yeah.
So that's kind of how he gets in the mix. Like, he's just, and then they're like, this guy's tight.
Yeah.
He's got skills, dude. And I got to say this up front. So why the Vatican loved him is because I mentioned those Croatian dudes before. He was instrumental in getting them out of Croatia and out of kind of the firing line, dude. So these Croatian dudes were fucking the Croatian fascist Nazi guys.
Yeah.
Were fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And they were hardcore, dedicated to the cause. And he's like, let me help you out. And the Vatican loved it because they were hardcore Catholics, hated communists.
Right.
So, like, we need these guys. And he got them out. And also what he did was take a lot of Nazi gold. For real, dude. So down the road, this is skipping ahead, but hey, we gotta because this is awesome. So
yeah,
they eventually raid one of his houses, the Italian government.
Yeah.
They find like 400 gold Nazi stamped bars.
Dude, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yes. And they were from this Croatian. So he took his end, dude. Is basically what I'm saying.
They fucking go in there like, explain yourself? He's like,
No, he was gone, dude. They were like, well, I guess we'll fucking raid his fifth house. Dude.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
All right. So, yeah. He got that guy Klaus Barbie. We talked about him a little bit last time, dude. He got him out. So he smuggled an estimated 80 million worth of that Croatian, 80 million worth of that Croatian Nazi gold. He gave most of it to the Vatican. That was just like his take.
Dude, oh my God, dude. The Vatican is so fucked. Dude.
So after that, he becomes like a frequent guest of like these cardinals at like Vatican events.
Of course, dude. You do.
They gave him 80 million.
Yeah,
Nazi gold,
dude. Fucking A, man.
Because you gotta remember the Vatican Bank had only been established a couple years before, so they're like, I have a terrible Italian guy impression, but they're like, this, I'll just say it in Nazi German. This will help us in our future endeavors with the bank.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the people in the Vatican must have just, especially with whatever ties he had to South America.
Yeah,
like so there's something there where they're like, South America, huh?
He was tied with that little dictatorship in Argentina.
Yeah, dude.
I forget what that guy's name was.
I forget too. It started, dude. I remember.
There was too fucking many of them, dude.
Yeah.
So actually, he's going back and forth. Eventually, in the 50s, he gets called back by who knows what. But all of a sudden, he's just back in Italy.
Yeah.
And he sets up a company called Permadex. And it's pretty similar to that company I mentioned last time that Wild Bill Donovan set up called the World Commerce Corporation.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was waiting for you to be like, his company was called Not Smuggling Church Money.
It was called Business Incorporated, dude. So yeah, this is the first one that's actually like, oh, Permindex. What do they do?
That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a front. It was a front to move guns and money around Italy. It was one of these Vatican shell corporations.
Right.
So somebody who sat on the Permindex board, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie JFK?
With
Kevin Costner?
No, I haven't seen it.
What?
Dude, I haven't.
All right, well, Tommy Lee Jones plays a guy in that movie called Clay Shaw.
Of course.
And it's a pseudonym, but it's an actual guy who exists in real life.
Okay.
That guy sat on the board of this company.
Okay.
Licio Gelli.
Oh my God.
He sat on the Permindex board. He was part of this company. This guy was allegedly tied up in the JFK assassination.
This is not proven. Oh, well, I mean,
look, it's in the book. I don't know where the guy got this, but this is one of those things where it's just like, I'm not going to read you every fucking footnote. Dude.
Right.
You know
You're right.
I mean?
You're right. Oh my God, dude. So
right.
he's on the border.
So he's back in Italy. It's like 1956. He's all set up. He's like running guns and money around Italy, aiding the Gladio cause. He's in with the Vatican. Eventually, the CIA wants him, they make him their liaison to their guy, the military guy that they have stationed at the CIA, Gelli. And they're like, all right, you work with this guy.
Yeah.
He's tied with the Vatican. He's set up this front company. You're going to work with him. Eventually, he becomes the head of P2. And what P2 is essentially a Masonic lodge that died. Is very famous in Italy up until, what's his nuts? Mussolini, El Duce took over and outlawed all that shit, dude. Outlawed the mafia, outlawed secret societies. So that was banned.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called P2, Propaganda Due. So Propaganda 2.
Gotcha.
It's just the rebirth of this thing.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, dude, Gelli was not a Mason before this, but within weeks, dude, he was master level.
Dude,
and they're like,
fucking level 33,
why don't you fucking run a lodge, dude?
Fucking 33rd degree Mason, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, dude.
They put him as a 33rd degree Mason.
Like within weeks. And they're like, you now run the lodge.
Oh, my God.
So he's the fucking king shit, dude.
Yeah.
So what P2 is essentially becomes the organizational structure of Operation Gladio in Italy. It's how you get initiated into the gang, dude.
Yeah.
And who's involved, you might ask.
Yeah.
Who's a member of P2?
Who's a member of P2, dog? Who's a member of P2, dog?
All right, so top of the list, fucking high-ranking members of the Vatican, cardinals.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a member of the church, like if you're a priest, you
can't be doing that shit.
Can't be doing that shit. That's clearly a violation, dude. And I'll say how we know some of these people are in it later on, but just believe me, dog. Italian politicians, members of Italy's military apparatus, members of their intelligence apparatus, members of their police apparatus, high-ranking mafia members, members of the Italian press, members of the Italian, I guess, TV, that's press also at the time. Basically, all the most influential people who
any
were
type of
dedicated
decision
to the
maker.
cause.
Yeah.
They were in fucking P2.
That's a whole structure of itself right there.
Yeah,
because all those people there in that lodge are the fucking guys that as soon as they leave that lodge, they're the guys that they run the fucking show outside.
Right.
Too.
Right.
So anything that their fucking top people hear from, if it's a fucking media outlet or a TV station, and they're like, oh man, we got the breaking story. You got your fucking Gary Webb's out there trying to break fucking shit down.
Who is this Gary Webb? I can't do again. I can't do an Italian accent. I'm just gonna do Nazi.
Who's a Gary Webb? Tell me. Something like that. Yeah. But I mean, there was no chance, and that's part of this whole thing. The secrecy of this was so fucking.
It's 1956.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
no.
Come on.
Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean.
Oh, did you see Licio Gelli's story from the other day?
He went to a dinner. It looked really, really fancy. Yeah. There was none of that bullshit, dude. These guys could just they could make these fucking decisions. And, dude, it was the fucking 50s. You could just, what was going on in there? Like somebody trying to fucking, you got Alex Jones trying to get into Bohemian Grove. Dude,
the hell's going on?
He could just fucking kill him. And nobody would ever fucking know what happened.
Yeah.
Like in the 50s, it was just,
it's just a different time.
Fuck out of here. Oh, that's just a dead guy on the fucking.
This is the way you do business like this back then, basically.
Yeah.
If you're trying to run a country.
You're trying to run the world, dude. You're trying to run.
If you're trying to set up a deep state in 1956, dude, this is how you do it. So eventually, later on, P2 has branches. By 1973, branches in, shocker, Argentina, Bolivia, Paraguay, France, Venezuela, Portugal, Nicaragua, West Germany, and England. Notice I said a lot of South American countries. All right. So, I gotta get this in, dude. So one of the most notorious members confirmed of P2 was Italy's prime minister in like the 2010s, Silvio Berlusconi, dude.
Okay.
At the time, he was just like a young journalist, dude.
Yeah.
And he was in it.
Jesus
and then later he owned fucking their most profitable soccer team, and then later he became prime minister, dude. Like, it's just, just saying, dude. Just saying.
No coincidence. Whatever. No big deal.
So yeah, shit must have been tight. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I mean,
he's got to still be alive, dude.
Dude, to just,
that guy's got some stories. That's all I'm saying, dude.
Yeah. Especially, dude, again, in that time, it just had, dude, if you just had money and you had political power,
pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
There's nothing you couldn't do. There's nothing you couldn't fucking do. You imagine like a scandal, like scandals must have not even existed at that point of just like, oh, he's fucking his maid. Like,
yeah.
Yes, I am. She's got a fatter ass than my wife. Like everybody would have been like, yeah, dude, that's just what fucking dudes do, man.
Yeah.
Like just a bunch of chauvinistic.
You gave the guy an envelope and told him to shut the fuck up. Life was a lot simpler.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
And if he didn't, you tried a couple more times, and then you threw him in the fucking river, dude. Weights in his pockets, dude.
Oh, this guy's just really stressing me out. I keep fucking his wife. And I just keep fucking her, and he just like keeps complaining like he doesn't know how the system works.
He's like, oh, where's she going all night? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm just trying to watch the game, dude.
Oh my God. Did you get that package of random money in your front step? No? I guess she's just gonna keep coming over then. Christ, dude.
So just the last thing on P2, like this guy, Licio Gelli, he just had an office in this, basically rented 3 massive suites in like the biggest hotel in Rome.
Yeah.
Like the biggest penthouse suites, like connecting rooms.
Yeah.
And like you would go in one room, wait for your meeting. He'd be in the middle one. And then afterwards you'd get like a debrief. But all right, so what happens when you go in there? Like the reason why they got so many of these high-ranking people too, some of them didn't want to join, but what would happen is when you would join P2, you had to give up dirt on not only yourself, but you had to give up dirt on everybody you knew.
Dude,
and this was their insurance policy is if you left or told anybody the existence of it, they had all this dirt on you. It's very Scientology scam this off of them, dude.
Right.
Or, whatever. They do the same thing. But anyways, so eventually, you get so much dirt on so many people that eventually you get people in your office that don't want to be there. And then you present them with dirt and you're like, so you joining or? And then they're like, all right, we're cool now.
Yeah.
What dirt do you have on anybody else?
Yeah.
And then they're like, you'll forget about this shit, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Right.
So it's just a fucking snowball. So eventually, I got to find this, dude. This guy, they compile blackmail files on over 150,000 people in Italy. These files were eventually sent to the Vatican and potentially the CIA. One of the more shocking things that is said in the book, this was a little far-fetched to me, but somebody took a picture of the Pope swimming naked, and it ended up in this guy's hands. Dude.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah.
You're just trying to have a fucking Monday afternoon
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Swim, dude. You got the Pope with his fucking... That thing had to look like a fucking 1970s police officer fucking flashlight because he's never goddamn used it before. Just sitting there looking like one of them fucking tennis ball fucking tubes. Just like 6 pictures of this gigantic cock on this Pope. And he's like threatening to show everybody. I bet the Pope was like, go ahead, I don't give a fuck.
It's like, it is what it is, dude. It's like, what are we going to do about this?
Dude. He's like, who already knows about that is the convent of nuns, They
have it hanging on the wall.
Jesus, dude.
So, yeah, that's kind of how P2 operated, why they were important. Eventually, they become, as I mentioned, the structure of essentially doling out orders for Gladio. They got this guy Licio Gelli, who's hooked up with the Vatican, hooked up with the CIA. He's fucking running the show. Anybody who's anybody on the, Western non-communist side is part of it.
Yeah.
So just kind of wrapping up the P2 thing. So how we know any of that as far as like the structure of what it is, who's involved is this Licio Gelli guy. Later on, when the bank starts to implode, he's involved in that as well to some capacity.
Yeah.
He's just one of the known faces that's kind of involved in that world. So the Italian financial police raids his house and they find a list of approximately 1,000, like a roll of 1,000 names. And that's essentially where we know, or why we know who some of these people are.
Yeah.
They also find quite a lot of like meeting notes, shit like that. And the other thing they find is this document called The Strategy of Tension. And basically it's their philosophy,
manifesto kind of thing,
for what Gladio is to become in Italy for the years ahead.
Yeah.
And basically what it is we're going to put so much fear and confusion into the general public. That really got me, dude.
Stop me if you fucking heard this before, guys. Fuck.
Basically, just juice up the violence, juice up the confusion so much that the public wants order by any means necessary, including a fascist or a strongman government to bring back order.
Right.
Now we're talking intimidation, intimidation and assassinations of journalists,
Prominent
judges, false flag attacks on the general public.
Right.
And they wanted to kind of tilt the scales in their favor by either blaming it on the communists or infiltrating the communists, these groups, and I'll get into those in a second, and kind of encouraging them to carry out these attacks.
This is where we insert the fucking V for Vendetta. They need to be reminded of why they need us.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's exactly what that fucking is.
Yeah, man.
Like, because, I mean, are you getting into the years of
So
lead?
this is essentially the years of lead. And, like, that's not the only reason for the years of lead, but this is just the intro to that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I want to say, too, is so while this is going on, like, the commies in Italy, we're getting through, like, we're blowing past the 50s and the 60s here. We're getting to, like, the end of the 60s. Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I guess we'll just say the 60s, not the end of the 60s. But basically, the people who are, the communists are still popular. And there are fucking, what do you call it?
Extremist? Got you, dog.
Dude, cutting all that shit out. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
No, we're keeping it. We're goddamn keeping it.
All right, we're keeping it, dude. Fuck it. We're doing it live, dude. Yeah, so there were kind of the communists who wanted to become part of the government in Italy. There were also the way far left groups, sort of like in the United States, sort of like in Europe. These groups pop up all over, dude. In Italy, they were called the Red Brigade. Bunch of fucking pussy-ass students who wanted to blow people up and take the fight to capitalism to the streets, man. We can't do it in the system anymore, man.
It's brainwashed young students and
yes,
that would just
turn radical.
Yeah, and they would just go to they'd go to your fucking schools and your major fucking event fucking locations and shit like that, your landmarks, and fucking bitch and moan, and then all of a sudden shit got.
And then all of a sudden they're making bombs in their house and they blow themselves up, dude.
Yeah.
Like what happened in the United States with those pussy ass weathermen, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we're
not going to get into all that.
No,
shit.
no, right.
But just I guess.
It should be noted that the Red Brigade guys, they kidnapped, like, one of the major things is that they kidnapped all the prime minister, the former prime,
dude.
And then they assassinated.
That's the capper, dude.
Yeah, and then they assassinated.
That's the capper. But the question remains, and we'll talk about this. We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you for bringing that up. That is the biggest. So what we're going to be talking about here for the next, I guess, chunk of time here is the years of lead, which is the 60s and the 70s. Early 80s. So imagine if you remember all the fucking shit that went down in the 60s in America, all the riots, all the fucking social unease,
flower power,
all the assassinations, dude, all that shit. Imagine if it spread out like way fucking longer.
Imagine if there wasn't someone to be like, y'all gotta settle the fuck down.
Yeah, dude. That is the years of lead in Italy. It is just fucking. It's the 60s to the fucking 80s, dude.
It's the 60s without the music. In Italy.
Dude. And they didn't. Yeah, man. They didn't have anybody making cool art or anything, dude. Fuck, man.
That's what settled everybody down, dude.
They're like
fucking Marvin Gaye being like, and people were like, shit, you hear that, dog?
They're like, all right, tight.
Let's fucking chill, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm fucking sorry, dude.
All right, let's go home. Fucking Hendrix is pretty dope. Dude. Should probably just get a job and start a record collection, dude.
I didn't know Jimmy's drummer was a white guy. Did you know that?
Fucking Mitch Mitchell, dude. Fucking what a name, dude.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 16, dude.
I guess I'll go home now.
Yeah, so that's essentially what the years of lead are, dude.
It is 60 roughly 66 to 88, which is fucking insane.
So on the one side we have the fucking Red Brigade. And I'm using my right hand. Let me use my left hand. All right, so Red Brigade, they're all the way to the left. Towards
left extremists.
Towards more middle left, we have communists who want to become part of the government. Okay, now in the center and off to the right, we have the Christian Democrat Party, who dominated Italian politics since the Vatican was like, yeah, Mussolini's gone, dude. Get that shit going again, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, then to the far right, you have the New Order. The Nuevo... Oh, God, what are these guys called? I don't want to fuck this up. I think it's Nuevo Ordine. Nuevo Ordine.
You got it.
The New Order. So they're the fucking... the fascist paramilitary group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would that be considered? I'm sorry. Is that considered far right?
Far right fascists,
because they're the big swinging dick that wants
all they care about is no fucking commies, dude.
Yeah.
We want capitalism.
Right.
So then in the background,
you
got the homie Licio Gelli just hanging out, going, dude, all these guys suck. Like, let's just... I got this strategy.
These guys are really fucking cramping my style, making my nut, dude.
Just fucking these guys suck, dude. He's like, I think we can use the New Order dudes with these guys on the left. Ugh.
Yeah.
He's like, Christian Democrats, whatever.
Yeah.
he's like, oh. So yeah, that's
who was the leader of the Christian Democrats was the guy I had mentioned, Aldo Moro.
Yeah.
So that's who the Red Brigade eventually
kidnap him. So now I mentioned false flags before.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get completely into the years of lead and all the fucking events like we did with the Troubles. Like, that's too much shit.
Because the similarities there of the timelines.
Because you could do that with every fucking country. Yes. Like any
a bunch of fucking
first
people
world
died.
country, there was all that bullshit going on in the fucking 60s. It's just in Italy, as I mentioned, lasted for like 20 years instead of like 8.
Yeah.
The biggest one though was a fucking train bombing. That was kind of what popped it off. December 12, 1969, when a bomb exploded in the crowded lobby of the Banca Nazionale Banca Nazionale dell'Agricoltura in Milan's Piazza Fontana. 17 people were killed and 88 injured. So basically, a bomb was just blown up. Like, this is a common theme, dude. It happens again later.
In 72, they blow up a fucking...
They blow up a fucking train, right?
No, this was another false flag, though. They just... 3 Italian carabinieri were killed in Petiano in a bombing that...
That's their national police force, dude.
To the Lara Continua. Officers of the Carabinieri were later indicted and convicted for perverting the course of justice. What a way to describe that, man. But Judge Cason identified Ordine Nuovo. That's the new
order, baby.
The New Order member Vincenzo Vinciguerra. We're just gonna keep offending Italian people every time
Fuck them all, dude. Yeah.
As a man who planted the Petiano bomb, he was a neo-fascist. That was a whole false flag too. It put the whole place in a state of emergency. So,
how these get identified as false flags too is like, okay, so it happens initially, like a couple people get arrested. Not really though, but like it's immediately blamed on the Red Brigade. It's immediately blamed on the communists.
Right.
And then they do some more digging and they get one guy. They're like, "What the fuck? Why'd you do it, man?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm part of the fascists, dude."
Yeah.
Like, you didn't know? Are you not on the payroll? And then he's like, "Fuck!" Like, shit. And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
They're like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "I thought you guys were getting paid out by P2." And they're like, "What the fuck is P2, dude?" And he's like, "Shit." So basically, they just catch a couple of these fascist dudes who are pretending to be Red Brigade members, either by, again, infiltrating them or just pretending to be them.
Yeah.
And carrying out these attacks. And eventually they catch a couple of them, as they said, blah, blah, blah.
You mean to tell me they didn't just find their passports on the...
Oh, no way. It was just intact and everything.
I'm sorry, right. Anyway.
Look. Are we going to get into this, dude? Because I could talk
Not now.
fucking 3
Not
hours.
now, dog. Not now. No.
It's believable. It's just not believable that it was his fucking passport, dude.
It was opened on his...
Yeah, his last stamp, dude. His last stamp fucking entering the U.S.
Fuck.
No, dude. Yeah, you tell me fucking, one of those fold-up things where it shows you how to put the life jacket on, dude. You tell me one of those blew out. I might believe you.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, so
False flag attacks in Italy, right, folks?
Wow. Those are not new.
Basically, what we're saying is a lot of shit popped off between 1966 and 1982, correct?
88. And there was still some lingering, I think, in 91 and some other...
I'm going to hit you with some facts here.
Oh, dude, the bombing of the Italicus.
Yes, that's what I was...
bombing of the Italicus. So August 4th.
In Milan, right? Fucking moving train gets blown the fuck up, dude.
August 4th, 1974, 12 people were killed, 48 others in the bombing of the Italicus Rome Brenner Express train in San Benedetto. Responsibility was claimed by the neo-fascist organization, the New Order, obviously there.
They took responsibility.
Responsibility was claimed.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I don't know how deep this one. Did you want to get into a little bit of depth of this one?
Go on, dude. Let's see. I didn't really look. I just kind of skimmed, because I read this book so long ago, dude. I didn't want to get too deep into all this bullshit.
No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it kills 12 people, 48 injured. The bomb had been placed in the 5th passenger car. The train exploded at 1:23. Under its own momentum, the train reached the end of the tunnel. Oh, dude, fuck, dude, this is so fucked. I do remember reading this now.
Go on.
The effects of the explosion and subsequent fire would have been more terrible if it obviously would have stayed in the tunnel. So this thing blew up whilst inside of a fucking, it's still underground.
A bunch of people burned alive. Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much, man.
Oh, man.
So,
but people in the next car, watching people on fire?
Probably.
Oh,
probably.
Dude, that's horrible.
Yeah, so they would have been, but the explosion would have been subsequent, and fire would have been even more terrible had the train remained inside.
Just one guy looking at a crack in the window, just please do not break, dude, or I will instantly go up in flames.
Yeah. The former Prime Minister of Italy, our guy who keeps popping up, Aldo Moro, he was on the train. But he had just
weird, dude.
Yeah, he had just gotten off right beforehand.
So, okay, obviously, all right, so why are they trying to... That's okay, I forgot. This is why I wanted to bring that train bombing up. So, they knew he was on there.
Yeah, dude, see,
and here's the speculation. Here's the speculation. He wanted to bring the communists into the fold, the legit communists. And that was a big no-no, dude. He wanted to have a shared government, sharing power between the Christian Democrats, because he obviously knew, dude, something's going on. Obviously, I think maybe he knew more than he let on, in public, but basically what I'm saying is he's like, a lot of people, like, this is what the people want. There's so many fucking communists in Italy. Like, how do they not have a bigger stake in our government is beyond me. Wink, wink. He's like, maybe it's time to kind of bring them into the fold. And one of the crazier things is in a visit to the United States, he's talking to the big dog, the big Jewish dog, Kissinger, dude. And he brings this up.
Dude.
Guess what
don't fucking talk to me about Kissinger, dog.
What do you mean?
I fucking hate that guy, dude.
You know what he said to him?
What do you fucking say to him, dude? Tell me. Let me get angry, dude.
He said, that's very interesting. He's like, I don't think you should do that. He's like, that might be bad for your health.
Yeah, Kissinger. Big dicks are bad in your ass are bad for your health, guy. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, dude. That was a big kind of sticking point in the book.
Look, I'm just going to say this right now. Brother Sergey is very anti-Henry Kissinger, all right?
He's a pragmatist, dude.
Oh, fuck. All right. I'm sorry. Dude, I get heated when I hear Kissinger, dude. I get heated.
Let me ask you this.
Fuck.
You like Nixon, man?
Dude,
you think Nixon was framed, dude?
Dude, there's no fucking way Nixon got... Dude, I got to tell you...
Here's the thing. If Nixon was framed for Watergate, he was dirty on 12 other fucking things.
Exactly.
Dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Nixon was just a scumbag, dude. Just like a natural...
I kind of like him, though, dude.
Dude,
I'm not going to lie.
Fuck that
no,
guy.
Complete scumbag.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not, dude.
Yeah, no. That guy... Whatever he didn't do in the political realm of fucking up or just being morally inept.
Let's blame the Kennedy assassination on the Protestants.
We can give it to the blacks. It'll be fine. Like, just being a fucking horrible...
Henry, I hate the Jews, but you're my Jew. You know those tapes that came out, too? I guarantee he said some shit like that.
Yes.
Kissinger, dude.
I mean, dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
have you heard those tapes?
Yeah, dude. What he's talking about, he's like basically talking about eugenics in black neighborhoods and shit like that, dude. It's very fucked up. It's pretty wild.
He's so horrible. No, but you got to remind me, I got a Christmas story for you after this.
Tight.
But yeah, no, just...
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's why... So they wanted the structure of P2, whatever, Gladio, who's ever at the helm at this time. It's kind of a moving fucking octopus legs, you know what I mean? But essentially, Licio Gelli got the order. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Aldo Moro's got to go.
Yeah. And I mean, he does. He goes.
And anyway, so they tried this train bombing. That was 78, correct?
That was...
Or it might have been 79. So this guy...
74.
Was this 74, dude?
Yeah, August 4th, 74.
And then he gets kidnapped in 79, right?
I think that's when...
Or is that 82? Is that later even?
No,
they had distaste for this guy for a while. Basically.
Yeah, dude.
That's all I'm saying. Because the whole time he's like, dude, why are we not like power sharing with the communists? And they're like, what the fuck do you think is happening here,
right,
man?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's around this time, obviously.
So, anyways, yeah. So we'll just talk about the kidnapping and assassination. So, dudes dressed as cops stop his kind of motorcade. Fucking
his Fiat. There's about 6
Fiats. Yeah, there was like
in this
6
goddamn
Fiats
story.
and like fucking 2 groups of cops on fucking Vespas. And they all of a sudden pulled out Uzis and fucking iced this whole team and took them hostage.
Yeah.
And they did they didn't kill him right away. Maybe they did. They sent like ransom notes and shit. There's speculation on where they actually like held him while they had him in captivity. And again, it was taken credit for, it was blamed and also taken credit for by the Red Brigade. Again, there was kind of some speculation a little bit later based on some arrests that were made, if it eventually got tied back to that new order.
Yeah.
But basically, let's just put a bow on this, put it into perspective. The leader of the country was kidnapped, held for like 2 months, and then murdered during their civil social unrest period of the 60s and between the 60s and the 80s. Like JFK got murdered, but like, you know what I mean? Like that was in broad daylight. That was a spectacle. It was very American. You know, it wasn't just this cold, calculated, we've kidnapped the prime minister. What will you do to meet our demands?
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't some IRA bullshit.
But dude, you know, I do want, before we go past this bombing thing.
Yeah.
The fucking I remember us talking about this because this bombing is fucking interesting as fuck. Because I'm gonna read you this snippet here, kind of paraphrasing. So there was this leftist militant who escaped from prison who tells the press that the bomb was placed there by the Italicus or placed in the Italicus Express that goes off in an attempt of what we think is killing Aldo Moro.
Aldo Moro.
Let me see here. Placed in the Aldo Express, but it was placed there by Mario Tutis, and we haven't talked about that guy. But submissive commando Piero Malatacci, who planted the explosive in another fucking place. Blah blah blah. Anyways, this was all part of received the order from the Italian fascist terrorist organization El Fronte Nazionale Rivoluzionario, the Revolutionary National Front. But at the time, the police knew that Tutti was a submersive. A few months after the bombing, a woman declared that Judge Mario Marsili, the son-in-law of our guy, Licio Gelli, of the Masonic Lodge propaganda, she told that author of the massacre that it was Tui. Charges were soon filed by the magistrate, but the woman was interned into a mental hospital as a mythomaniac. So she's just a...
So she was going to tell the truth, basically.
And
they were like, shut up, bitch. Welcome to mental health in 1974, dude.
Like, bitch is lying. She's a liar. That's what a mythomaniac is. Just a pathological liar.
What are those called? Shock treatments?
Oh, my God.
They probably gave her shock treatments.
Yeah.
You know they still do that shit.
Are you telling me they still do, or are you asking?
Yeah, they don't know why it works, but it still does work for some shit. They don't, do it very often.
Mouth guard.
Yeah, but it's a lot more sophisticated now, obviously. It's not one of my buddies, he became
schizophrenic.
When he was in he became a doctor. When he was in residency, you do different. And when he was in that particular part of the hospital, he was like, "Oh yeah, that still happens." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, man. They still do it. They don't know why it works, but it works.
You're about to get McMurphy. Just... Fuck, dog.
So, yeah, I mean, that pretty much, here's a couple of statistics. Oh, my God. Here's a couple of statistics to just end the years of lead. By 1987, there have been 14,591 acts of violence with political motivation.
Jesus Christ, dude.
491 dead, 1,181 injured and maimed. So,
I mean, that's 500 fucking dead carcasses and
and a lot more injured than that because again, it's the 70s. People don't go to the fucking hospital.
Yeah. Those numbers
with a
are all
fucking broken
skewed.
arm, dude. They're like,
He'll be fucking fine.
Give me a piece of wood to bite down on. Set me arm back.
Give me the spatula. I need to bite down or something. Something like that. I don't know.
So yeah, we were kind of a little scattered. I think we got the point across though.
Yeah, so from the 60s to the 80s.
It was a fucking shit show, dude.
Yeah, just
and
the most
kind of guiding
violence.
it was this P2 behind the scenes with these various factions of far left and right guys.
Right.
All
right, I was just going to say there was a resurgence in the 90s and the 2000s of shit still going on. There was attacks by the Red Brigades still in 99, again in 2002, in 2003, and then up into 2005.
Bombings or what?
This was assassination attempts.
Oh, really?
Assassination attempt. I mean, dude, by the 2000s, it's like, dude, are we fucking calculated or not? Are we the Red Brigades? Are we the Red?
You got to be hardcore if you're still doing that in like
Dude.
2002. Man.
Yeah. You got some fucking 70-year-old man they called like La Papa.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, it needs to be. It needs to be. We need to do it for the old man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's either that or you're like fucking John Travolta in Swordfish, dude. You ever see that, dude?
Yeah, guy. I saw Swordfish for one reason only.
What do you mean? I've seen it like 10 times, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude.
It's on TNT every 6 weeks.
Dude.
From
Dude.
fucking 2003 to 2010.
Halle Berry shows her tits.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
That was
yeah,
the greatest moment of my fucking like teenage life right there. Just a great set
Wait,
of...
was that movie?
Yeah.
It was.
She's reading a book. She puts them
That's
down.
right.
And you just see some chocolate Hershey kisses that...
And Hugh Jackman's just like, where's my daughter? yeah. What a classic, dude.
Yeah, dog. Did you want to pause? I'm sorry. That's all I had right there.
And we're rolling.
And speed.
So, you know, Years of Vlad, as shaky as they were, you know, this was considered a win, essentially, for Glad. Like, the communists never got into office that entire time.
Yeah.
Even if they had to kill the prime minister of Italy, I mean, who gives a shit?
There's mirrors of like, in terms of the mission being, quote unquote, the mission being accomplished, of like the Crusades. The good guys win to an extent by any means necessary.
Right.
As much shady and
The initial success is amazing. And
Yeah.
then the rest of it is just like trying to,
like, whoa, reel it back.
yeah. So basically what happens to the entire, so it goes so much beyond this. I just want to kind of touch on this because this leads to how we know any of this is.
Yeah.
This is considered a success. So they expand the program into other parts of Europe, the Middle East, and most notably South America. I mentioned this earlier.
Under the pretense that this is to stop continue to stop communism.
So, and when I say spread, I mean spread the money around.
Yes.
And kind of where this all flows through. Again, you got to remember the central kind of hub for the laundry is the Vatican Bank. And the guy running the show for all this, he's called God's banker, Roberto Calvi. And he's got an associate who's semi-tied into the banking, Michele Sindona. He's kind of the bridge between the mafia, the CIA, and the banking world, the Sindona guy. So he's involved, and Roberto Calvi's involved. And Roberto Calvi is the president of a bank in Milan called Banco Ambrosiano. And as I mentioned, he's called God's banker because Banco Ambrosiano becomes literally the bank that they do tons of business through. When I say business, I mean again,
laundry.
Deposits go into Vatican Bank by Michel Sindona, Cardinals, whoever from wherever, Catholic Action. Go into Swiss numbered accounts, go back into the bank, go back into Swiss numbered accounts, go into a shell corporation, go into Banco Ambrosiano in Milan. And from there, it gets directed specifically into wherever, it's needed.
Yeah.
From the CIA, the Vatican, wherever it's directed. Because Gladio's just gotten so fucking big by this point that it's in a million different places, a million different countries, and a million goddamn different shell companies, all called Business Incorporated, International Greens, We Make Stuff.com,
Company Inc.
dude. Yeah, Company Inc. Pets.com, dude.
Dude, yeah.
Pets.gov.
And let me remind people, like, all that money that, like, during this time now that the Catholic Church is, like, it's
all heroin money.
Well, it's all heroin
Just
money.
wanted to remind everybody.
It's a reminder. It's all heroin money. But also, like, all that shit, like, you might think that mass money doesn't go anywhere. Like, portions of that at the end of the year go to, like, archdiocese. And then the archdiocese goes to the fucking, like, the main regional cathedrals. And then the main regional cathedrals. And then you're like, I wonder what that all... like, you might think your money doesn't go towards this shit. But, motherfucker, your money is going right to this shit. Like, alone, like, just the money, the balls and audacity of the Catholic Church asking for money every service is fucking like a slap to the face to people. Like, you guys have so much money, dude.
So much. Do you want to know how much real estate they own, dude?
Oh, I'd love to know. Are you the Vatican specifically?
The Catholic Church, Holy Mother Church, dude.
Yeah.
177 million acres worth of land.
Holy fuck. And you know what? Those are like when that shit happened at Notre Dame in France, when that thing burned down. They're like, we plan for it to be restored by 2024, and it's same beautiful glory. You're like, dude, you could have this done like this year. You know, this is all fucking just like, oh God, we got to get the funds. Can you give us some more? That's what the fuck.
Wasn't that crazy, dude? Holy shit! I didn't even fucking think of that.
That's what the game is, dog.
Fucking crazy, dude. I did not even think. How many people donated, dude?
Celebrities who haven't been to a fucking mass since they were fucking like 16 because they skipped out of their fucking...
They're like, oh, I love going to France.
Yeah.
I'll give.
Here's $13 million.
That's what they want. They just want fucking 10,000 idiots with $6,000 to donate.
Yeah. Catholic schools, Catholic fucking elementary schools.
Yeah, man, that's all it is, dude.
Private.
177 million acres.
Oh, my God.
All right, so... as Gladio grows, the center of this financial operation, as I mentioned, is run by essentially the Vatican Bank, but the expertise lies on these mafia-connected banking dudes, Michel Sindona and Calvi, who's the head of this bank in Milan. So, basically, it gets too much. Essentially what happens, here's what happens. They are giving way too much money. They're giving way too much loans to companies overseas. All right?
The Vatican is giving...
No. So, okay. So the Vatican... Okay, God damn it. This is so complicated.
Sorry.
How do I explain this? All right, so Banco Ambrosiano, the Vatican wants to own secretly a ton of shares in this bank.
Yeah.
Roberto Calvi doesn't give a fuck, dude, because he's making coin, dude.
Yeah.
He's in goddamn P2, dude. He'll do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck, dude. He's running the world's biggest laundry, son. So
the Vatican secretly wants, they're like low key.
The Vatican has, obviously they're like, Latin America is a focus for Gladio. That's what like they're pushing for.
Yeah.
So they're establishing shell companies down there
Yeah.
to push money out to.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like, give them loans. We'll transfer money into your bank in exchange for like shares. It's just like, basically what's happening is the Vatican is buying shares in Banco Ambrosiano while at the same time giving them black funds to fund as loans to go out towards these shell companies in South America. But meanwhile, they're also taking some of the money that they've loaned the bank has, sending it back to the Vatican Bank to buy more shares in Banco Ambrosiano. They want to own the bank, basically.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Calvi doesn't realize any of this because he's not looking too close at the books. And the shareholders want an audit of the bank. This is the biggest bank in Italy at the time. So the financial police take a look. And at first they're like, oh, what's going on? Like, Roberto, dude.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? You're the shit, dude.
Yeah. How's Cecilia? How the boys?
Yeah, they're like, nice, dude.
Good, Luigi.
Envelope tight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a very great weekend with this. Thanks for this envelope, dude.
Right.
And then, like, they're like, we'll just fucking, take a peek here, dude. No big deal. And he's like, okay, just take a peek. And then they look at the peek is like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, we have to look at your books or Italy's economy could crash, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, shit, what? He's like, what? There's too much checking into savings. You know what I mean? There's too much money going to... Basically, it got too big.
Yeah.
It got too big. It spread across the world, and
basically,
one guy cannot handle all this fucking shit.
They basically took him to the storage unit and took the tarp off and showed all the fucking bed of money.
And they're like, they just did a fucking palm and like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck?
It's too much.
No,
I don't know what to do with it.
So I'm gonna read you what they told the public. But what they told the public is shocking, dude.
Oh my god.
So basically, as I meant, Gladio got too big. This became so intertwined with the Vatican Bank and all the Gladio kind of projects. All right. So this is the summary of the 500-page report after they looked at, and they still didn't really know what the fuck was going on, dude.
Of course.
There's a clear need to cut back the network of subsidiaries which Banco Ambrosiano has created abroad.
Yeah.
Using too much shell companies overseas.
Yeah.
They, the bank officials, must also be forced to provide more information and figures about their real assets to avoid the risk that a possible liquidity crisis on their part might also affect the other Italian banks, with all the unfavorable consequences that might entail. Basically what they're saying there is, you guys have so many fucking loans overseas, we don't know what your assets are.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're just seeing that the Vatican owns like 20% of your shares.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
All right, so the report devoted more than 25 pages to the tortuous relationship between Banco Ambrosiano and the Vatican Bank. It stated, independently of its position as a stockholder, the IOR, or the Vatican Bank, is bound by strong interest connections to the Ambrosiano Group, as it is demonstrated by the Vatican's constant presence in some of the some of Ambrosiano's most meaningful and delicate operations. So basically, they're saying you guys are intertwined.
Yeah.
The fuck is going on here, dude?
Yeah.
You're the biggest bank of Italy. If you guys fail, our economy is fucked, dude. All right, so after they release that, Milan Stock Exchange, dude. Banco Ambrosiano stock falls 30%, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so at the
shit.
same time this is going on, this is 1979. Interest rates throughout the world are skyrocketing. So all those loans that they're giving and starting to give keep going. The juice keeps going up.
Yeah.
So this bank looks like it's about to fucking fail, dude.
Yeah.
So the shareholders call a meeting and they say, "We want Calvi out."
Yeah.
Calvi goes to the church and says, "Don't give him anything. Don't fucking tell him anything. That's bullshit. Don't cooperate no matter what."
Yeah.
He's like, "If we're going down, we're all going down. Nobody's gonna know shit."
And
blah, blah, blah.
and we're not going.
Fuck Italy, dude. Like we're going down. So basically, he gets voted out. So the day he gets voted out by the shareholders, his secretary commits suicide, jumps out the window, dude.
Shit.
And that's like legit. That's not some weird conspiracy. Like,
Yeah,
she was genuinely like,
Yeah.
"Holy fuck, I was a part of this, dude. This,
Oh my
this
God.
bank is gonna collapse, dude."
That's horrible. I mean,
So-
yeah, good. Go ahead.
Then the Italian financial police is, of course, like, "What the fuck is going on, dude?" The bank fails, dude, by the way.
But see,
the
like,
bank goes into financial, what do you call that? Not bankruptcy, where you start to sell off all your fucking assets, dude. I guess we'll
liquidate,
liquidation.
Yeah.
And they start naming creditors throughout the court system and everything. Meanwhile, the country, Italian financial police have arrested Calvi, and he's like writing letters to the Pope like,
Por favore.
"I'm not gonna snitch on you, but you left me fucking hanging high and dry here, dude.
Yeah.
Holding the fucking bag, dude."
Yeah.
So the largest bank in Italy fails. So he gets out. Licio Gelli pulls some strings. They take his passport and everything. They say, "You're under arrest, blah, blah, blah." Licio Gelli goes, "Give him his passport back, dude." It's all good. Bribes a bunch of people, dude.
Mind you, Licio Gelli, to timestamp this episode.
He's going to get arrested 2 weeks later. But anyways.
Yeah, but he died 7 years ago.
What's up, dog? Where'd he die? Argentina,
2015,
dude?
2015, dude. Fuck me.
Meanwhile, dude, his brain has been implanted into a younger person, dude. It's the fucking Black Mirror technology, dude.
Oh, my God. Dude, I sent you that link of those walking fucking dogs.
Just saying.
Anyways.
All right. So here's how it ends for Roberto Calvi, dude. Gets his passport back. Fucking, he's done. His career's over. He's wanted by multiple jurisdictions for financial crimes.
Yeah, as soon as you're in there.
But he's out on bail, so he goes to London. He is reported to have been staying at like a known whorehouse,
Nice.
getting some top notch, before he's like, "I'm probably gonna die." So
Probably before he blows his brains out, his own brains.
No, he doesn't blow his brains out. He is hanging by a bridge with like 15 grand in his pocket of various denominations and a bunch of rocks, which is supposed to be some Masonic deal. I don't know too much into it. All right, so the other guy that I mentioned, Michele Sindona, he was the mafia connected guy, American.
Yeah.
He gets arrested also through this bank deal. Dude, this bank thing, like Scatterbrain explained it, but like this was a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
And they arrested a lot of people.
It brings down all the fall guys.
Yes.
All the fall guys.
This is why we know any of this. I forgot to say. Because this leads to so many investigations, and the shit they find just keeps going.
But here's the thing too. It keeps going, but it keeps going towards the Vatican, but it stops there.
Stops at the Vatican.
It stops at the Vatican because the Vatican's like, yeah, well, you already got your guy.
All right, so remind me to talk about that in 2 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Buck stops with the Vatican. All right, so Michele Sindona.
Yeah.
He gets extradited to New York City because they're like, you did some fucked up shit here too.
Yeah.
You're a known mafia associate. You're wanted, blah, blah. He gets arrested surrounding this, so they send him over there. Yeah, he just got poisoned in prison.
Yeah, dude. I was just about to be like, let me guess, cameras were off? Cameras are off.
Morning coffee.
His high road bone was just broke. His high road bone was broken, and they're just like, yeah, dude.
Just his morning coffee just closed his throat. And fucking expanded his arteries.
Yeah.
Those were the two banking guys, and so they got wiped out. And so Licio Gelli's in the mix as well with this. So, and of course they don't arrest him because he's like, later, dude. I'm going to Argentina. Dude.
Yeah.
They raid his house. That's where they find what I mentioned before. They find all those documents about P2, the strategy attention documents, the fucking nearly 500 gold bars marked with Nazi insignia, dude. Ooh. In Croatian. Just like, blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to fucking talk Croatian. Yes, we like Nazis. We are also Catholics.
It's also, Indian stamp could be also.
Also could be Indian
It
stamp.
could be. They use same symbol, for happiness.
It's just like, not looking at anybody in the eye, just like,
Yeah. But the buck stops at the...
All right, so the buck stops at the Vatican. So after the Banco Ambrosiano scandal, obviously, like, the Vatican's been in the game for fucking almost 40 years at this point.
Decades.
They're not hopping out of the fucking Gladio international kind of espionage. No way they're getting out. So what do? They clean house at the Vatican Bank. And they basically install a bunch of Opus Dei people in there. Jeez. So Opus Dei, like in the mid-'70s, starts to get CIA money.
Oh my God, dude!
Like a couple of the CIA like Shackley, a couple of the kind of lesser CIA guys in the story start to take notice of these guys, and they're like, these dudes in Spain are like pretty tight. And they're part of the fucking Catholic Church, dude. We should look into these guys. And so they start getting millions.
Yeah.
Essentially, Opus Dei takes over the Vatican Bank in the 80s. And if you look on... So I looked this up recently. There's a website where you can look up... I forget what the organization's called, but it essentially tracks money laundering in Europe. And there's a dedicated page to the Vatican Bank, and it's all like news stories. Like,
can we put it in our link?
Yeah, I'll drop it in the links.
Yeah.
I'll drop it in the fucking links. And basically, it's just like Vatican Bank doing much better, but not really. Like years of secrecy. Does it continue? It's like a clickbait title, and then at the end you're like, oh yeah, so they haven't changed shit, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you have to imagine just the religion is it's a taboo because you cannot touch it. It's like an entity that is not with a base founded in reality. So this foundation,
it's the whole point.
This foundation that is like, for millennia we've just organized the system that already works here. There's no way that all of a sudden in God's year of 2022, in the future coming, anything like that. They're just going to be like, this is all wrong.
Right.
This is all, like, fuck all the, like, you're tax exempt. Fuck all your, like, this is, you know, you have your own money system here. Like, let's open all your fucking books. Let's get a.
What do you mean you're your own country?
Yeah, dude.
What the?
Yeah.
You have guards from a separate country?
Yeah. Let's just get a fucking accountant that's from fucking Peoria, Illinois, that has no connections.
Also, stop talking Italian. Speak English to me, bitch, dude.
Yeah. You know what doesn't translate that I don't need translation with is your fucking numbers. Give them to me, okay? Like, dude, there's no way that'll ever change in history. Like, those powers that be, that is too big to fail. That is too big. That is the only thing that is too big to fail.
There's just too many people involved, man.
And then people who would never. You think people already don't like put too much trust in the government? Imagine the backing of just like, no, my religion, like we're based on Jesus. They're like, yeah, but Jesus loved money, motherfucker. You love money. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's why there's only been one Jesuit pope, and the rest of them have just been random Italian dudes who are like, I love gold. One Society of Jesus guy who's genuinely like, please, let's do good.
Yeah.
Just like, shut up, bitch.
Shut up.
We're buying more land, dude.
You seen this drip, dog? Look at this shit on me, dog.
So yeah, I like, you know, again, that just kind of caps off the last bit of story here in Italy, 1990. So after all the banking failures, all the criminal investigations, because it just becomes a sweater thread pulling operation by all these various investigation teams in Italy and Europe to figure out what the fuck is going on with this. So there's all this data and investigation fucking paperwork that they have. So in 1990, there's a huge inquiry by the Italian government, federal government, and they put the Italian prime minister on the stand at the time, Andreotti, and they ask him, like, is this shit real? And he just goes, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's all real, dude. It was all happening. P2 is real. Gelli was at the head of it. The fucking false flag shit was real. He confirmed all of it.
That's right.
So, like, that's kind of the final nail in the coffin on why we know any of this is true.
Yeah.
And again, just to cap this off, a lot of this is true. Some of it might be bullshit. Some of it might be just pretty tight. We just wanted to tell you a cool story, dude. Why don't you fucking figure it out yourself, bitch? fucking, you want me to email you the footnotes? Dude, I will, dude. Shut the fuck up.
They're on the back of my bag. Go read a book.